Hi guys, I posted a few videos online of me flying some planes that I've built myself. So I thought it's about time I showed you how to build a plane with a step-by-step guide from printing the plans from the internet up until cutting them out, construction and flying them. So it's all built out of this material. I like to use a foam board because it's a little bit stiffer, a little bit more rigidity for the plane. You can use Depron, 6mm Depron, which is just as good, but you just got to use a few carbon rods in that. I will use rods in this as well, just for extra strength. And today we're going to build Concorde. This is the site where I've downloaded the plans from. It's a great site called parkjets.com. You'll find everything on here from biplanes to this, obviously this Concorde, and some of the other ones I've been flying on my other videos. The Typhoon comes from this site, and they're really easy to make. Okay, here are the plans that I've printed out. Fairly straightforward. Just all in sections, and it's all labelled at the top which row and which column to go in. And what I'll do now is I'll stick all these together with some sellotape. Okay, now we lay them all together, and as they're printed they should come out the way they're printed, that you should be able to fold them out like in rows. Okay, now I am a man with a plan, all stuck together and ready to be cut out. Okay, now I've done the plan, I've started cutting out all the parts off the plan. So I've got them, I'll put them in an envelope when I've cut all my aeroplane out, and then I've got them spare. If I need any spare parts I can just take them out the envelope. But, literally I want you just cut round all of the areas nice and carefully. Take your time with this bit of the job because this is the important bit. You can reuse this plan again and again and again and again. So you just cut round all of this, and then we'll start putting it onto the foam board. Okay, now I've cut all the parts out, ready to go onto the foam board. So as you can see, they've all been cut out, but I haven't cut out the middle bits there. I'll do that as it's on the foam board. I'll do that with a craft knife, so it's a little bit more precise. Okay, I've placed all my plan onto my foam board, and I've placed it in a way that it doesn't waste much foam board. As you can see, the tail is actually hanging over, so what I'm going to have to do is sort of cut a piece and glue it on afterwards. I'll show you how to do that with some cocktail sticks. Yeah, so I'm going to start cutting this out now. Cut all your slots and parts out with a nice sharp craft knife or a scalpel, which I've got here. And if you are going to try and use a new blade, or rather than try and mess around with an old one, because an old one will sort of drag it, and it won't be a very nice sharp edge. So a nice new blade, it just glides through. So you cut it through first without going all the way through, and then you can go around it all after, once you peel the plan off. Pick it up if you like, and cut it out without marking any floors, tables or whatever. Okay, I've cut this this part out, the wing part. What I actually did was, before I started, I actually put a little bit of paper glue to stick the paper to the foam board. And the good thing about this paper glue is it doesn't go off completely. So when you've cut, and it holds it in place, so when you've cut it, all you do is peel it off very carefully. Peel off the plan. It should come away revealing the part way cut through foam board. And also saving your plan at the same time. So if you ever do need to cut any replacement parts, you've always got the plan there. Just fold the plan up neatly. Don't fold it up while the glue's going off. Make sure the glue's gone off before you fold it up, of course. Put that out of the way. Now that should be part cut through. Okay, I've just finished cutting the wing out, all the holes and everything. I've just got to cut this piece on the back and attach that there as well, and obviously you attach the front. So we'll get on and cut the rest of the parts now. I should have been on Blue Peter, although there's no toilet rolls involved in the making of this. There might be a few toilet rolls involved in the flying of this, but there you go. Okay, now I have all my parts cut out. Remember to cut the right amount of parts, like I've got 2 vertical stabilisers. Those parts there are the engine bays, so you've got 4 of those, 2 of those and 2 of those. Everything else is just one cut, singular. So now let's go ahead and stick it together. Okay, as we didn't have enough room to cut the whole of this out in one piece, so what I'll do is I'll get some cocktail sticks like this, and we'll put them in, shove them in with a bit of hot glue, and then push that other piece onto it, which I'll show you how to do that in just one second. So if we just put that down for a second, get some bit of hot glue, just smear it, not too much, onto that, and we'll push it in to the wing, like so. Smear off a bit of that excess stuff. We'll do the same with another one. Bit of hot glue on it. Not too much. Push it to the wing. Nice and straight and even. Wiping off the excess again. And then make sure obviously you put them each side of the slot in the here. You don't want to get them interfering with the slot. So what I'll do is I'll again put a bit of stuff on there, bit of stuff on there, bit down the joint, just a fraction. Make sure you've got it lined up pretty much right, and then push it on, like so. Just hold it there for a bit, like the excess. That should hold it really nicely. Just hold it there while that goes off a bit. Yep, that's got that. And now we'll proceed and stick all the rest together. I'll do it in sections and then film it in various points. Okay, we've got some of it glued together now, and what I've done is the slot I cut out in the wing there, I've buried a wooden dowel in it, glued it in, and then put some hinge tape over the top of it, so as you can see it's flush and it strengthens that whole midsection there where the cuts were to join it together. So that's all nice and strong there now. And what I'll do now is I'll glue all the engine bays together and pop them on and show you once I've done that. Okay, we've stuck it all together. I've put some, as you say, I've put the dowels in the wing there and they're flush. Just takes a bit of that, gives it a bit of strength there. Lots of hinge tape everywhere over everything. I'm going to cover this in this white packing tape. It's good stuff. I've put all hinge tape all over the engines, just so when it lands on them it's nice and strong. I've put a carbon rod, as it says on the, if you look on RC groups, how to put this together, they've got photographs putting the carbon rod around through the middle there, that wing. It's looking quite good. I'm just not sure, I can't download the decals on it, but I'll find something and put it on. But I'm going to cover it all now in packing tape. I've got the servos to go in there first, but I'm going to put them on this side. I'm just going to have this, I'm going to see if it works with just this side. These elevons working on this side. He's actually got it, the whole thing works, but I'll just put it on this side. We'll see how it goes. Okay, now we've put the actual plane together. We're going to cover it with some white tape, and we're going to put the motor mount on, and then it should be somewhere near ready to put the servos on. Okay, now we're doing something with these flaps. I know you can see this on here. I've got the flaps both working there. And what I've done there is I've got some wire, bent some wire, and I've got a nice hard plastic tube there, so it can slide like a hinge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bury it into there with some hot glue. Cut these pieces into there, hot glue those in, bit of hinge tape over them for extra strength. So I just put a bit of bead of hot glue down there. And put that in. So it's quite flush. Hides it away nicely. Got a bit of a hinge there. Once I attach them to there, that will hinge both flaperons or elevons, whatever you want to call them. Okay, now we've covered it in the white tape, put a few decals on it. I've just cut those out of red and blue tape for the flag on the back of the wing, on the back of the fin there, vertical stab. Put a few little windows in, printed off the British Airways motif, windows at the front, engines are black. We've got the motor mount on, and you can see that. I glued that on, plenty of glue around that, that's nice and solid. Hinges are all working and covered now. You can't see the metal going into the ailerons. So now I'm going to set up these servos to work these. Okay guys, the Concorde's finished. I'll just take you through a few things that I've done. We've got the motor on there. It's an Emax motor from Giant Cod, and also I've had the motor mount from Giant Cod. Looks really substantial. 6x4 prop, just about clears. In fact, I've just had to take a little notch out of it. But we've got the lights, the lights on the flashing beacon light on there. Got the red and the green underneath. I'll just show you underneath what I've done. Flying it with an orange receiver, which is there. At the moment I'm going to try it on a 1300 Nanotech. We'll see how that goes. I've got these straps here. What I've done is I've put a dowel across here and then put the Velcro strap underneath it, and what you do is the battery will literally, I've got like 3 there so I can sort of change the centre of gravity. You put your battery on there with some Velcro on the back of the battery, and that literally wraps around there and then clips on some Velcro at the back there, and that really does hold it nice and secure. 30 amp speed controller, just a cheap Chinese one. Not much more I can say about it. Oh yeah, I've got some lights in the engines there, so when you power up, it looks like they've got afterburners. That's it. Oh yeah, and I put this on the top there. I found this central bit here was a bit flimsy. You could sort of like bend the plane. So just to give it a little bit more rigidity, I put this in, hot glued that in, and I've also put some bar across here, carbon fibre pieces across there. That's it really. The next video you see will be of the test flight. Video then.
Radio. Lift on top. Throw it straight instead of cooking.
It's a bit dodgy throwing it that way because, well, we'll throw it that way, but we'll have to sort of go right out here a bit because of that sign there. I've just had visions of it going into the sign or the tree.
You went either side, in between the trees.
I know. In fact, we can come. We can go over here, can't we, and launch it, sort of.
Have you got that on camera then, going in between the trees?
I don't know. We might have. But the wind's literally coming like that, isn't it? So if you launch it sort of like that to the caravan from this corner.
Happy with the throw?
Yeah. Are your fingers out the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go that way, just a little bit, that's it. Yeah. Throws a lot better now. Whoa.
When I threw it, it went down. Yes, it catched it quicker, sharper. Of course, he's very well. Looks like a fucking guitar in the sky, don't it?
Yeah. Launch it again, mate, because I forgot to put the camera.
Clyde's, look.
Yeah. Whoa, fucking hell. I think with just a bit of wind, them birds are attacking me, aren't they?
I'm having a good gig. Hey, low power looking. You know. Flying well, really. Well, you give full power, it's a bit sharp. Bit of an handful.
Yeah. Keeps you on your toes anyway. Just land it and then put the throws on the ailerons a bit more.